Hey guys, welcome to next video. And in this video we are going to get our hands dirty with integration procedure. It will be a simple integration procedure, and this is just to give an overview. How we can create the integration procedure and how we can execute it, and we can check the results. Okay, so let's get started. What we will do for this experiment is let's go to accounts first. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we do have multiple accounts. Starts with United, right? So what we will do is we will query all these accounts and we will update a field inside the third account. Okay. So I just wanted to show you, how to get the data using one data raptor, then pass the specific uh, item from the data to another data raptor and update it. Okay, and we will be of course using the integration procedure to call both the data raptors. So what do we need for this? First, we need one data raptor which can query all these three accounts, right? Then we need another data raptor which can update the account, and for now let's say we will be using website field to update. Okay, so let's go and create first data raptor first. So here, we'll go to data raptors and we will create a data raptor. So it will be, let's say, extract United accounts. It will be of type extract JSON, and that's it. I will save it. So here we are going to extract the accounts, right? And we'll store it in a JSON called account, and we are going to extract only those accounts where name is like United. Okay, and for now we need what ID, account ID. We also need, let's say, name. It will be account name, and let's take website. So let's call it account WS. Let's quickly preview this. Something went wrong here. Okay, maybe this thing. Okay, so now we can see it is basically returning three accounts, right? So if we do see it, this first account has a website test2.com, this has a big URL, and this has test3.com, right? So now let's create another data raptor which will be updating the account, right? So let's call it update account website, and it will be of type load. Save it. Okay. So basically we are going to update the account here, and of course we are going to pass two things here. One is let's have account ID, and we are going to map it against the ID, and of course it's going to be the update key so that the account can be updated. And the second is we are going to pass the website in our JSON, and it should be mapped against the website field on the account. Okay, so let's quickly try to preview it and let's see if it is working fine. So I will try to update the website here. So it's expecting account ID, which is here, and then it is expecting website. So let's say test website.com, and let's execute this. So let me refresh this. Okay, so we can see this is updated. So it means both of our data raptors are working fine. Now we need to create an integration procedure and we need to use it. Okay. So let's go to integration procedures, Omni Studio integration procedures, and create a new IP. Okay, so let's call it account update IP. So we need to provide the type and subtype here. This type and subtype defines the uniqueness of this integration procedure, not the integration procedure name. So you cannot have two IPs which have same type and same subtype, right? And even when you will be, calling this integration procedure inside the OmniScript, right? You cannot search it with the name. You will be able to search it in its type and subtype. Okay. So for now, let's call it type is account and subtype is update. Okay, and let's save it. Okay, so now first step is we need to query three accounts, right? So for that, we will be dropping this data raptor extract action here, and let's call it query united accounts. Right. And the data raptor we will be using here is extract united accounts, which we created few minutes ago, right? So let's quickly try to preview this and see what we are getting. So I will go and click on this preview tab. Here we do have a button here to execute this, and same as data raptors, if you want to pass any parameter, you can you can create it, you can pass it from here on the left side. I will click on the execute for now, and here on this right side you can you always have two things, the debug logs and the error. So basically, if our data raptor or if our apex class or anything is sending any error, then it will be visible here, and whatever the logs they are sending, they will be visible under the debug logs. If you click on this pick list, you see multiple things here, right? So you see a debug response full, which is a debug of all the actions you do have inside your data, inside your IP. So for example, let's say if you are using two data raptors for querying something, then you are using an integration HTTP action for the integration, and you are using few more actions, right? Then all the response will be visible here. But if you want to see the if you want to see the response or the the details about the single action, right? So at the time also, what IP does, it creates two things with every action. So if you remember, we created the the name which we gave to the data raptor was query united accounts, right? So you will, with the same name, you have two things, query united accounts and query united accounts debug. So this query united accounts, basically it tells what response that action returned, right? So for now, this integration, this data raptor returned all these three accounts. If you want to see more details about this action, you can click on the name plus debug, which will tell you what is the status, how much time does it took, right? What the input we sent it, right? That things will be visible here. So for now, looks like our data raptor is working fine, and it is returning us all these three accounts, right? Now let's go back to properties and drop one more so if you want to call the load data raptor, then you need to drop this data raptor post action. So I will go here and I will drop it here. Okay, so let's call it update third account. Okay, and I want to call the data raptor which I created, which was update account WS. Right now, we can specify here what input do we want to send to this data raptor, and we can also specify. So let's say if this data raptor is returning a big JSON, but you do not want to return the whole JSON to the next element or maybe to the OmniScript, right? Then you can specify what part of that JSON you want to return, right? And this send JSON node and response JSON node, basically they are used to rename the nodes. So for example, let's say so in this example we are going to use the output of this query United as the input of this update third account data raptor, right? So let's say there is a difference between the JSON nodes, the name of the JSON node, what this first data raptor return and what this second data raptor accepts, right? Then we can use this send JSON node to rename that node. And the same, if you want to rename the node in the output, then you can use this thing. We'll be covering this maybe in the later videos with some good examples, right? So for now, what I want to do is this data raptor returned with 3 results, right? So I want to I want to pass the third account to this post data raptor so that I can update the website on it, correct? So what I will do is I will copy this name, because this name can be used here in the send JSON path as an input parameter. So if I will do this, what integration procedure will do is it will pass the whole output of this data raptor to this data raptor. But I do not want this. What I want is I want to pass only the third account, right? I do not want to pass first and second account. So for that, what we can do is we can use this single pipe symbol. So and I can use the 3. So this this indicates that I want to use the third element from this JSON, okay, or the third item from this JSON. Now we are violating very important concept of programming, which is index always starts with 0, right? Because in this scenario the index does not starts with 0, it always starts with 1. Okay, so to get the third item you cannot specify 2, you need to write 3 here. Okay, so now now what happened is basically we passed the third account from this list as the input of this post data raptor. Okay, looks good here, but we need to pass one more thing, which is the website, right? The new website URL which we want to update on the third account, right? So for that, what we can do is there is something called additional input, output, or failure responses, right? So basically we can pass some additional input to the to this data raptor. Okay, so what I will do is I will create one more input. So if when we created this data raptor, right, we told it, okay, you will be getting 2 things, the account ID and the website. Okay, so the account ID will be coming from this data raptor and we will be passing the website from this additional input. Okay, so let's call it www.demo.com. okay, and that's it, we are done. So we queried all the data, then we updated the third account, and let's do one more thing. Let's use this same extract actions one more time, so that we can see the updated result. Okay, so okay, because when we queried the data here, right, it had the old data, then I updated the data, and I want to get the updated data, right? So I'm using it again. So now let's go ahead and preview it. Okay, so let's quickly see what happens in a sequence. So first, this query united accounts executed, right? It gave us 3 accounts which has a website of test2, this UOS, and the test3. Then what happened is this update third account executed, right? And if you want to see what was the input to this, right, you can click on this update third account debug, which will exactly tell you, okay, the input here was website, which we passed as the additional parameter, right? And the account WS, account name, and account ID, it was the third item in the previous data raptor, right? So it was passed as the input of this second data raptor. So you can see here it was successful, right? And then we can see this data raptor action extract action 2, which returned us the updated data. So if you can see the third account, it has www.demo.com, right, which is exactly what we passed in our additional parameter, right? So everything looks good. The only thing is, till now it is not returning any response, right? So basically, if you are using it on a OmniScript, right, you are not going to use the you are going to use this specific action, right? What really matters for you is a real response which can be read by the OmniScript, or which can be used somewhere else, right? So if you want that, then we need to drop one response action here. Okay, so now if we go and preview this, okay, it's still not returning anything, right? Because we need to tell this response action what exactly this integration procedure is going to return. Okay, so there is a checkbox called return full data JSON. If we select this, then it is going to return everything whatever we do have here. So if we execute this, right, so you can see it returned the response of this data raptor extract action 2. It also it also returned the result of basically it returned the response or the debug of all the 3 data raptors, right? But this is might not be so helpful for us, right? Maybe we just need the result of this last data raptor, right? So what we can do here is, instead of returning the full JSON, we can only return this data raptor extract action 2. So now it will be only returning the output of this data raptor. So let's go ahead and preview this one more time. So you can see all these 3 accounts, and this is with the updated website. Okay. So hopefully this is clear. In the coming videos, I will try to explain, I will try to give some more insights about the integration procedures, and definitely we are going to discuss some other concepts of the velocity, right? So I think that's it for this video. Hopefully you will like this, and hopefully it will help you to learn velocity. If you have any questions, just drop the comments, and please let me know. Thank you.